Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Sat Nam, and welcome in everyone to our broadcast tonight. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. We are here with Jason from Ray of Light Tarot YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing mini readings tonight. We are very excited. The list is pretty open. We have one person on it, so if you want to get on it, there's a link in the description of the video that has the My PayPal link, and it's $33 to get on the list. So we just create the list, and then when it's your turn, we call your name, and we let you know that it's your turn to put up your question in the chat. But what we really want to talk about is the fact that our Tarot Masterclass starts tomorrow. And we are so freaking excited. We were just talking about it. I can't wait. We're going to do something special for you guys today. But before we dive into all of that, why don't you tell us how you're doing, Jason?
Oh, man, I'm so excited. Thank you for having me tonight, Jai. I'm super excited. Thanks for being here, guys, and joining us. This has been a long build-up, a long lead-in for tomorrow for this tarot course that's literally going to be epic. The build-up has been intense. It's been exciting. It's been nerve-wracking at times, and you've done such a great job on your end preparing, and I just can't wait. Now I'm ready to I feel the motivation, the momentum, and I am motivated too, but I feel the momentum building, and now I just want to roll with it. It's going to be so exciting. We've got we've got room for last-minute signups, guys. We've had some today, and guys, if you want to get on that list, not the list. If you want to get on the list for tonight for mini readings, do it. But also, if you can and you want to take this course, you've got another 24 hours because tomorrow's the big day. Class 1 is tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Thursday, the 21st.
Mm-hmm. And it's the fall equinox too. So we're like switching energies and seasons, and it's a very auspicious time. And also, this is the season of a bit of not transformation, full transformation, but in a way, because this is the season that begins us to prepare, gets us to prepare for like the dark winter months, which are more of the internal energy. And so this is a good time to like study, and it's the season of the harvest to kind of milk the information. I feel like it's a good match for this class. It's going to go for 9 weeks. We're going to meet on Thursday nights or evenings, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. All classes will be recorded and they will be replays uploaded onto the student portal for every class. So if you have to miss it, I know there's a couple people that were saying that they might have to either miss a few classes and someone literally only can do replays, and that's totally fine, because this is also a class that we will continue to have available for people into the future. But the payment plan,
Right.
the payment plan is only available now. So if you want to be able to do the payment plan, you got to sign up while we're doing the live class, because after that, it's only going to be a pay in full option from once we're done with the class. But anyways, let me say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Hello, Shannon. Welcome in. Hello, Valerie. Thanks for being here. Sanders, welcome. Carol is also here. Good evening. Ariel, she's like, I can jump on and ask a really serious personal question. You should. So we're really excited. And you guys know that in some of my videos, I have been doing little previews. So we wanted to do that here with you guys tonight together.
Yes.
So you guys can get a little bit of an idea of what the class is going to be like. So tonight we decided to talk about the Hermit card, which I'm putting up on the screen in a second. So I would love...
I just want to add one thing before you go into the Hermit card. So
yeah.
That's one of the reasons I'm just super excited about the class. That's kind of personal to me. Is I'm a September birthday, a Virgo sun, and so it's kind of like my personal New Year anyway right now. And then with the fall solstice tomorrow, like you said, it's such an auspicious time, and it just feels very synchronistic and right. And I feel like I said, the momentum around everything right now. And so I'm just so excited. And of course, we're going to talk about the Hermit card, which is the card of Virgo in the zodiac. And so that is very personal to me as well. So take it away.
Yeah, no, actually, I wanted to ask you, I mean, maybe I can just start by talking about that energy of Virgo in general, because a lot of what I'm going to be offering in the class is the astrological information. So Virgo is basically, we just went, we're in that season right now, and we're about to transition into, it's so funny, we picked the Hermit and we're in Virgo season. I think that's super interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Virgo energy, yeah, it rules the 6th house, which is the house of health. It's the house of routines, schedules, daily life, and the polarity of Virgo is Pisces. So at the opposite end of the spectrum, you have Pisces, which is the very spiritual, ethereal experience of our reality. And then in Virgo, it's the very earthly, here in the moment reality. So Virgo brings you into the present moment. And I always talk about how being in the moment is how you learn to connect to the spiritual, because it's in the moment
Absolutely.
that you are connecting to the spiritual. And so that energy is infused in this card of the Hermit, which is about like reflecting, but also being in a sort of not a alone state, but a solitude state where you are very much in your own world and kind of trying to figure things out. I feel like it's a time of deep contemplation. And I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite thing about the Hermit card? What does the Hermit card represent?
Oh my gosh, so much. I'll tell you, here's a great example of the Hermit card and the Virgo energy. And not only that, but just specifics about Virgo. So as you mentioned, that house, Virgo, it rules the digestion, right? And so when we did that 40-day cleanse the first time 5 years ago, Jai, and I was reading tarot day in, day out, I was getting the Hermit card constantly because it really represented that, like you said, contemplation, represents Virgo energy. It felt like my card more than ever because I was going through all of those changes and really working with my Virgo and sun energy at that time. And I love that the card feels like Virgo. Virgos, for me, are very sort of at times cerebral. And although we can be, certainly very outgoing and gregarious, we can also be very introverted and going within, and just on it all within one day. And so that Hermit energy has all of those aspects to it. It has the aspect of going within, of contemplation, of kind of going into his cave, but it also has the sort of the outcome energy, because he's ultimately he's not in the cave. He's coming out of the cave. He's holding up the lantern. He's got the answers. He's connected to his divine source. He's now ready. He's now a transformed being and ready to lead the way into that next thing. And so for me, it's actually such a card of transition, transformation, not to the extent that like the death card is, which is Scorpio energy, but it definitely has the very practical aspects of like doing a cleanse, those things that we can all sort of relate to that aren't super, super emotionally, it's not like the loss of a job or the death of a loved one, but it can have similar undertones of that type of feeling, right? And so for me, it's almost like the death card light or the death card. That. You know what I mean? Diet death card. I don't know. I know that sounds kind of silly, but that's just sort of how I think of it, and definitely much more spiritual than anything else. Spiritual.
Yeah.
Hermetic. It's kind of hermetic.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of symbolism in this card that I want to talk a little bit about, but the power of routine. So this reminds me of like Kundalini yoga, and how in Kundalini yoga we do a lot of like multiple day meditations, like 11-day meditations, 40-day meditations, 12-day or whatever, and you do the same meditation every single day, try to do it at the same time every day, and there's something about routine and rhythm that is really healthy for us. So that's just another perspective of that. But some of my favorite symbolism of this card, of course, is the star is like one of the coolest things. The star that he's holding in the lantern is actually a 6-pointed star. And there's a lot of symbolism there as well. It's basically the Merkaba. If you remember, it's the two, if you know the sacred geometry, it's the two triangles, the tetrahedrons, one pointing down and one pointing up. And then in total, those are 6 points, right? 3 points each. And so the Merkaba is also known as like the chariot of light, or in the ancient Atlantean philosophy and wisdom, that Merkaba is basically shows us how to live life. And there's all these intricate details about that. But it's also the cube. It becomes a cube. Like when you connect all the lines of a 6-pointed star, you will see the shape of the cube start to form. And the cube is representative of the earth element, and probably not a coincidence that, Virgo is the mutable earth. And it is about walking the path on the earth. The other symbol that I love, or the imagery here, is that this is him in the dark, like it's the nighttime in this card, and he's standing at the top of the mountain. And so what that actually represents is he's kind of like he's like a sage, right? Like the hermit is like, he looks like an old, wise, old man that's like gone through it and like lived life, right? So the story is like he's climbed up the mountain, he's done the journey himself, right? And so he's now kind of like a teacher, and he stands on top of the mountain and on the peak. Like if you see at the bottom of his feet, he's like on the peak of the mountain. And so that basically what he's doing is he's shining a light into the darkness of the night, but he's also so high up, he got to the mountaintop, which is that so close to heaven, that he's kind of like bridging heaven and earth and like illuminating our way to get to that place. And obviously the process,
which is totally the sign of Virgo, right? Bridging heaven and earth, the spouse of the divine. And I love that. Everything you just taught everyone right now, including myself, so tracks. And I think that what's so beautiful is that's the hermit card to me. He's kind of like the ultimate light worker, right? And that's exactly how that.
Yeah. He's showing the way. He's showing the way of the 6-pointed star, which is basically the Hermetic alchemy, the sacred geometry that's like found within that symbol itself. So that's what I wanted to show you guys, just how we're going to, and there's more that I want to go over in the class that we will be going over in the class for each of these cards, but that's just a little snippet of the kind of conversations.
Well, because we're going to also kind of touch on the overarching theme of how each major arcana card leads to the next one in the story of the soul.
Yes. And then the symbolism of the number, like why is the number 9? Why is he the number 9? And what does that mean? And all of that stuff for each of the cards.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about that. So it's going to be freaking amazing. So we hope that you guys enjoyed that little preview.
Yeah, guys, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this class. We are so excited about it. And it's 9 weeks long for a reason. I mean, we're going to go deep, immersive, intense, educating, just intuition, the whole shebang. It's going to be really cool.
Yes.
Really cool.
Yeah. So awesome. So I'm going to transition back to just us on the screen. And I think somebody else got on the list. While I'm looking at it, why don't you tell us what decks you're going to be using tonight for readings?
Okay. Absolutely. So I got a new deck this past week. I'm waiting on a deck called the Light Seers Tarot. I wish it was here, but it will be here soon. The deck I'm using as my main source tonight is the Radiant Rider-Waite. It is, this is the Rider-Waite deck, as you've probably always seen it, but it's radiant. The colors are made to look much brighter, and the back is a little different. I don't know, it's got the stars instead of the checkerboard. That. So really pretty. And I'm also going to use possibly, because sometimes I clarify even with minis, possibly the Cosmic Tarot or the Morgan Greer. Probably Morgan Greer because they both have stars.
And we just talked about the star, dude. That's crazy. So
I know, we were just talking about the star.
Okay, so let me add Valerie to the list. Okay, so here's the list. We've got Chad, who's going to do a general reading. Then we have Ariel, and then we have Valerie. The decks that I'm going to be using, I have my Aquarian tarot deck. I have my Gene Keys cards, which I love to use for also more clarification, like a deeper message. And then these two decks came out. This is, I can't remember the name of it, but it's, you probably have this one too.
Oh, is that the Mystical Shaman?
Yes.
It looks like,
I couldn't remember the name. Yes, the Mystical
deck.
Shaman deck.
Beautiful.
And then the Energetics of Color. So this one is just colors. Like it's just colors. So it's really, really cool. So anyways, excited about that. Awesome. So let's begin with Chad. Since we already know what he's
So we're doing general for Chad.
General for Chad, yes. All right. Yeah.
I'm going to say a quick intention while we shuffle.
Thank you. Please do. Yeah.
Thank you, Source, Spirit. Thank you, Universe. Thank you, Guides. Thank you, Ancestors. Thank you, Spirit Team. Thank you for helping Jai and I connect and our intuitions to unite in these readings. Thank you for the clear, direct, and necessary messages for all those who come seeking guidance in a perfect and loving energy exchange. Thank you, Archangels Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel. Thank you for being our pillars, cornerstones, and guides. Thank you, all Spirit Team. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sat Nam. Thank you. All right. So I'm just going to start because I got these 3 cards right here. So I did a past, present, future spread, but actually you got 3 major arcana cards and 2 of them that are specifically only to belong to this deck, which is actually what that tells me right away is that there's kind of a lot going on for you right now. And that there is a process that you are going through that is a process of awakening. So I obviously don't know anything that's going on in your life, but I'm sure that right now there's a lot that's shifting and changing, and it feels like you're kind of in the middle of a big change. That's the first message that I get. So you get the multi-dimensional card, literally called just multi-dimensional. You also get universal laws, and there's like an eye looking thing, and this also looks like a black hole. Universal laws, and then is the lovers. So Jason's laughing. So the card that is about universal laws does say it's about karma and dharma, and the difference between those two is karma is like healing old wounds is one way to say it. It's about healing the past. It's about transmuting the past. And what this tells me is that there's a relationship in your life where this is the playground of what's happening right now. You're healing karma and you're learning about yourself. And this is starting to change you so that you step more into your dharma, which is about your destiny, like your mission, your path. And so that's this is this is where you're at, and also where it's going. There's a lot of deep work that is karmic, that has to do with a relationship, right? Because the Lovers is also like sometimes the twin flame card, and just relationship in general. But the Lovers card is also
on
about
this side too. Same thing. This side too. The twin flame stuff. I don't do that too much, but it's coming out strong over here too.
The Lovers card is also about discernment. So what you're learning is how to discern from what's right and wrong, and for you personally in your own way. So that's what I got. I'm going to pull some oracle, but I'll hand it over to you while I do that.
Yeah, so this is so funny that you just got the Lovers card too, Jai. So the first card that came out for Chad was the Seven of Cups, which really does represent emotional confusion, a time of being up. Kind of, I always feel like this is someone who's like, they just don't know what the answer is, or what they're supposed to feel, what they're supposed to do. It's kind of like feeling like a lot of darkness and a lot of lost energy. But after that, you have the Nine of Cups in your foundation, which is, such an abundant emotion. It's like the opposite of confusion. It's this abundant energy. So your soul knows the answer already. Your soul has this big, abundant, sort of overwhelming feeling of love and emotional clarity. And then these two cards came out, the Emperor and the Empress together. For me, that's really special. And it's taking the Lovers even a step further. Because when I really believe that, we were just talking for our chair class about the major arcana. There are certain stories that can thread through it. There's definitely the soul's journey. There's also, I can see a story that can tell the story of light workers and twin souls too. And what this is, the Emperor and the Empress, is really, for me, when I'm reading, when they come out together like this, it's that highest level of soulmate connection. Anytime there's a match, like the Queen and King of Cups or the Queen and King of Swords, that can represent the same thing. Well, this is that times 10, because it's the Emperor and the Empress. They are the highest level of the divine feminine, divine masculine in human form. I mean, I guess higher would be the Magician and the High Priestess, but that's more that's more about the transition and coming into the earth. This is that power, coming into power in human form together. There's something very beautiful about this connection, and both people in this, you and whoever that other person is, are going to obviously be learning a lot, like Jai was just saying, from all of the karma in that relationship. And then whoever can step into that destined energy and really carry themselves up, it's probably going to bring the other person up too. And there's going to be some really amazing stuff. So just amazing, really beautiful, really special, Chad. And I am glad to know that you are going through this, for you and for whoever else is lucky enough to be connected to you in that way.
With the with the Empress card too, and both of those cards, I feel the masculine supporting the feminine. And I feel the birth energy that the Empress brings, like that creative life force that is the potential for the growth of that sacred feminine energy, because the masculine supports it. That's the message that I'm getting from that right now.
That's beautiful, Jai. I know that'll probably really track for him too. That's really beautiful. Yeah. Amazing.
Awesome. So for the color card, you got royal blue, and royal blue is about gratitude. And you can see this person here. Again, the eye figure coming out again. I feel like this is crazy. 2 different decks, not even close to the same authors, and you got this eye, right? Like, so
they almost look like mirror images of each other, right? Which again, that's that twin flame type
Holy
energy.
Shit, that's crazy.
Right? There's a lot of mirror. Really interesting.
This is great. But also, it's a portal. So this is like a black hole, which is a portal. So it's a doorway into something else. So like the gratitude is the doorway into a new reality, and it's also about being able to see beyond what is right here in front of you, beyond the physical. Because that eye of Ra, or whatever, eye of Horus, whatever you want to call it, is basically the eagle that sees from way up high and can see things from such a high perspective that there's like more deeper understanding that comes from it. So the gratitude is the key in this situation. And
Jai, do you remember I think it was on the Lionsgate portal class we did toward the end, I read from that book, The Magic, about how gratitude is magical.
Yeah.
It really, like, that's it for Chad. Like, the more you can get into feeling your gratitude, being grateful for every experience, for everything that's happening. That's the key to your journey.
Yes. That's the energy you want to live in, no matter what is
Gratitude.
in front of you, no matter what's going on, whether you're perceiving it as a good thing or a bad thing. It is there for a reason. It is supposed to be there. And so that energy of gratitude will also like magically fix things. Because
it changes everything.
The perspective that
transmutes
you have
it all.
That makes the difference. And then you got the completion card from the shaman cards, and this is the Ouroboros. So this is the snake that eats its own tail, which is a quintessential symbol of Hermetic alchemy. It's also the belt of the magician. I don't know if you guys,
God,
the belt of the magician. So it's like the alchemy. So basically what I'm getting from this is the situation will complete itself when you learn to use, like the magician, when you learn how everything works and you learn to use your magic, all the tools that you have to like create, it's your will. The magician is your divine masculine will to want to do something about it, right? To want it to reach a completion, to want it to sort of end in a good way. But if you're using all the tools in the right way, you're going to see that effect literally coming alive in your life. But this also tells you that it's on you. You are the one that has the power to make that shift, and for this situation to reach a state of completion for you, which is what you truly desire, which is what I also get from this. But yeah, that's what I got.
Wow.
Crazy.
That is on point.
Dude.
Wow. Wow, Chad.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Thanks,
Chad. That was amazing. Yeah. Amazing reading. Everything.
That was good.
It all lined up perfectly.
Wow.
As it does.
Okay.
As it does.
Love that. So next we have Ariel. So go ahead and put up your question. And if anybody wants to get on the list, okay, we got Shannon's on the list too as well after Valerie. So it's Ariel, Valerie, and then Shannon. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I grabbed those shaman cards.
Those are awesome. And that was a great cap of the reading. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
The mirror between those two cards, though, the royal blue card and the other one, that was intense for me to see it.
It was, was. It had a lot of power. There's a lot of power behind it. That whole message. There's like
a whole message.
Whoa. Like it feels kind of like that.
Like, yeah. And gratitude and trusting.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, here's Ariel's question. Are my contracts with baby souls done, or is there another soul coming in? I already have 4 young girls. I feel a huge timeline change, maybe unrelated. I'm a little panicked mentally. Okay, so basically she's asking if there's other babies that are going to be coming to her and birthing, you know, if she's going to have more, if there's more kids that are wanting to be birthed through her. And she already has 4 little girls. That's so cute.
Got it.
Okay, so let's see. If you feel like
you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I was going to say.
So I have in your foundation here, I have this magician card energy, which is interesting because the magician is actually a masculine card, and it represents, you know, a more masculine energy, and it is about manifestation, though, kind of bringing things from the ethers into the physical form. But looking at this and everything else, I'm not getting a lot of fertility energy from you. I almost feel like you're right about a shift, and that you're coming into a time in your life where you're going to be embracing less maternal energy and more assertive energy, more self-care energy. It also looks you have your first card that came out here is the Hanged Man card. And so I feel like it's almost like when a car slows down to make a big turn, or even, you know, it's like, that energy of what you've been doing. There was a lot of momentum with it. Obviously 4 girls, there's a lot there, and there's a lot sort of pushing you ahead, but it's like now it's time to kind of slow down see what you've gained, what you've learned, and not just about being, a parenting in some way, but also about yourself and how to properly love yourself. It's really important for you to look at this next chapter as far as, not like, don't worry so much. I think especially women, when it comes to being parents, can get really but they can really become overly critical of themselves and worry so much about being a good mom and fulfilling certain roles. But this feels, with the Five of Swords and then the Three of Wands, it feels like you almost want to make sure you're not sabotaging your own ability to manifest the next chapter of your life by overthinking and worrying too much about who you are, who you're meant to be, and how you're doing in this chapter. Don't let them, overlap in that way is what I get here. But I really do think that's not, if there's more kids to come, it's not coming through in these cards at all. So yeah, there's a lot of new energy being manifested here, and definitely the only stumbling block I see potentially is you getting in your own way and maybe being a little too judging or overly critical of yourself, when what you really need to do is just, everything's about learn. There's no, try to step out of the good or bad or the should or shouldn't, and get into the enlightenment and using your focusing on one energy over the other. You've been in a feminine energy for quite some time, most likely. And now you're going to want to lean more into sort of an energy of creation, of movement, of what you can do when you're sort of chasing after the things that make you happy, as opposed to doing for everyone else.
That was a really powerful message. Okay, so my cards are kind of crazy. So this is the first card you got. It's the Four of Swords. But when I look at this card, it literally looks like a fucking baby through an ultrasound. I don't know about you, but it's like a baby face. I don't know. This is just kind of tripped me out. It kind of tripped me out. I'm like, wait, what? And it's a girl. It's a girl. Like those 3D ultrasounds or whatever that are. Yeah. It kind of feels like a baby sleeping in a womb. So this is tripping me out. But you got the Hanged Man and I got the Four of Swords. And those two are very similar energies. Like the Four of Swords, it's time to rest. Like, this is not like action, but also it's funny because
that is weird though that you're seeing a baby.
I know. But this is about like the resting point that you need to get ready for what's coming. There's that aspect of it. It's like, that's the focus, right? But I feel there's potential here. I don't know what, I just feel like it's a time of quiet that could possibly lead to a powerful rebirth. It's the first thing that I'm getting.
And also, Jai, I want to say what I get looking at that is I notice how the face is resting in her hands.
Yeah.
So it is that self-care. Like, it's really time to take your hands and put them on yourself.
Yeah.
And take care of you. And
and this could also be her inner child, and her taking care of herself. Wow. That card looks like me, she said. Okay. So maybe this is you, like your inner child, and maybe going back and doing like, soul contract between you and your mother and you in the womb and all of that, which we have done because she's taking my moon goddess training. But yes, so I think this is about self-care for sure. 100%. This card is.
Dude, I think you I also want to say, I feel like you must have healing hands.
Oh, she's in the water too. Actually, she's in the water.
Oh, wow.
That's why I keep getting
You have healing hands, so use those hands now for you more than anyone else.
Oh my God, dude, this is crazy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, I love that. So we also get Seven of Swords, which is really interesting, which I want to know your perspective about that Seven of Swords energy. What comes up for you when you see this card coming after the Four of Swords?
Well, Seven of Swords for me, it's kind of weird. Sometimes I think of like self-sabotage. Sometimes it's kind of a deceptive energy, or you're trying to. It always feels like in the traditional sort of Rider-Waite, it feels like someone's trying to sneak away from something or make a fast getaway, or hide. There's something being hidden. They're not wanting to do something that they need to do. There's a lot of duplicitous energy to it.
Yeah, it says
treachery. And that card, it's very interesting.
Yeah, right. The imagery here, it's like water. It's kind of like you're in the ocean, and it kind of feels like almost like drowning. Like the energy that I see,
like being out of your element.
You're like in the water and it's uncomfortable. It's like I don't know where I am, and I think that's what the overwhelm that you might be feeling. I'm feeling that this taps into that overwhelm energy, and yes, and everything that you mentioned as well is like possibly what are you either trying to hide from or from yourself also coming through. And the interesting thing is that
if you've been afraid of that, like if you're afraid of having another baby or something, I don't know if that's what that represents, the fear, Jai, because I was literally like hearing like from the movie Titanic where the guy's like ringing the bell, iceberg right ahead, like that, like when the boat is going right for the iceberg. And it's like, I don't know why I'm hearing that, but it's like, if that's what your big thing is, like, are you afraid that you're going to have to do this again? Is there a fear there?
I'm sure
because you have to do, get in. Yeah, like it feels like this, iceberg right ahead. There doesn't have to be an iceberg. You have the power to transmute anything.
I love that. And then the last card is the justice card. But the crazy thing is that in this card, this woman is like straight up pregnant. She's like holding her belly. She's holding her belly and her heart. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. There's just a lot of baby. I'm feeling baby imagery. So maybe,
it sounds like it.
Right? But look how she's balanced. Right? It's like only after the rest is she able to like stand strong in this. And so obviously it goes from the Four of Swords to the Seven of Swords and then the justice and the balance, right? And the harmony and that energy of like Libra. But so there's a process.
Wow.
So and this
the timing might be a little off right now, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's I don't think it's for now. I think there's time, there's space, there's like time is needed before the standing strong. But I'll say something about the Justice card. The Justice card comes right after the Wheel of Fortune, I believe. And it is basically the Wheel of Fortune is the twist of fate that launches you on a new journey that you don't know about. It's unexpected, and that's why it can be scary. But before you can really truly launch forward into that, you got to pass through the doors of the Justice card. And the Justice card is kind of like this portal. And in the old ancient Egyptian imagery, it's the scales that weigh the heart against the feather of Ma'at. And if your heart weighs basically as light as a feather, you get to pass through the door, which for them, it's like into the afterlife or into heaven, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I feel strong grandmother energy here as well, more than mother energy. Yeah.
Do you think some of this is about like, because I'm getting a strong sense that it's not so much about whether you're going to do this again or you have another round of parenthood coming or any of that. It's almost like becoming okay with it. You have to become, so often it's not what we have to deal with. It's that we have to be okay with we have to accept our fate, not be attached to any outcome, not think that something's going to be a problem. There's an acceptance that has to come in, and then you might be surprised at what you can do and how you can arrange the sort of the whole thing, the whole board. But that acceptance right now is the key.
And the fact that if this does indeed come true and come to light, it'll actually bring you balance and harmony instead of like fear that you're experiencing, right? Because that's that energy of Libra, which is what this card is all about. So that's what I got. I do want to pull a shaman card and a color card, but if there's anything else you want to say.
No, yeah, pull those cards, and I'll just add to I think that makes so much sense, and I love that. But yeah, I just keep thinking of that Seven of Swords energy, and it's the Five of Swords. There's a similar energy that I got with this Five of Swords, and they both feel like a little overwhelmed. So I think just what I would really focus on is that acceptance, and also knowing that you can do this. it's actually all about just coming to a place of full and total acceptance. And because it's the same thing as gratitude. Gratitude is a sign of faith. Acceptance, it's a sign of faith. It's all about the fact that you trust your journey, you trust your process, and you trust your higher self and your connection to source, that, you know, you're not going to be put through something that you're not meant to do or that you can't handle.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get, Jai?
Okay, so we got periwinkle, which is about grace. And this is the very heart opening posture that she's doing right now. And yes, she said something about, you guys are on point, I'm just trying to control it. So it's about opening your heart and letting grace move through you, like being that channel for grace. And then you got the eagle. Obviously, the eagle is one of the most, possibly, in the North American tribe, it's the highest possible like animal totem that flies. It's like Heineo away, the eagle flies to the sun. Whoa, that was crazy. I literally just said that. But the eagle the eagle represents a higher perspective. It's also the scorpion that has gone within and faced his fears and faced his shadows, and then reemerge as the eagle, because then it gained a higher perspective to see everything from above. But there's two very different energies in this card. One of them feels very feminine and one of them is very masculine. The eagle is a very masculine energy. And you can see even in this image, he's about to catch something. And I remember that when I was learning about eagle medicine, who's one of my totem animals too, the process of the eagle, the way that the eagle teaches is like, it does not mess around. It'll take you straight from point A to point B. So like where you want to go, it's not going to diddle daddle. It's not going to go around and in wavy lines. It's not going to take the path that like going to take the longest. It's going to take the fastest route, which means it's gnarly, because tower moments like galore is what the eagle medicine is really about. You can't just like, you know, play your way through eagle medicine. It's like hardcore warrior medicine, right? So there's a part of like the balancing between that aspect of you that needs to just, yes, take life by the talons, right? Take your power and be in your power, but then also do it in a way that is grace coming through you, that is graceful. So there's the balancing of these two energies, these two polarities that are working within you, which is, you know, these are two very opposite things. So I can feel how frustrating it is. One thing, right? The birthing of a child, it takes so much surrender and vulnerability. And the other one is that very masculine energy that just wants to control everything and needs to. And
have a sense of freedom.
Right. Yeah. That too.
Yeah. Like the eagle. So. You can have both though. You really can. If you can balance, like Jai just said, if you can find the balance therein, you can have it. You really can have both.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah. This was another really epic reading. Thank you, Ariel.
Epic.
All right.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yes. So next we have Valerie. You can go ahead and put up your question. I'm checking the list real quick. And I want to say welcome, Lish. She said it's her first time watching one of these readings. Welcome in. So Valerie and Shannon. Lish, my friend Lish. She's in my human design class.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay. Here is Valerie's question. You're welcome, Ariel. I have been overwhelmed with pain issues. How does my overall health look for the next few months? What actions do I need to take? Or what action do I need to take? Okay.
Okay. Wow. So you had some major arcana over here fly out really quick.
Ooh. Feel free to start.
Okay, so you have the Eight of Pentacles here. Your foundational energy is the Eight of Pentacles. So I guess with this, I would just say, don't try to rush your recovery, your healing. getting yourself to a place where you're 100% pain free, where you take it from a 10 pain level to a 0. That may not be the way it's going to work. You know, the Eight of Pentacles can be a very sort of a incremental energy, a building energy, where things happen incrementally and not necessarily quickly. But you need to keep the faith that as long as you do what you're shown and follow that true north, you're going to get there. You will get to a place where things feel a little bit less out of your control. And I think things are going to be much more in your control soon. The first card you got was the Fool card. So you are at the beginning of a new journey for sure. You're at the beginning, and this is a new experience. I know you've dealt with pain. I know you've dealt with issues already, but whatever's happening now is the beginning of some other experience, and it's going to require a couple things of you. The next card you got is the Strength card. So I feel it's really going to require you to find a balance between your expectations, where you want to be, where that sort of soaring eagle inside of you that wants everything to be better right away and wants to get up and run a marathon, and the reality of your situation, the reality that a lot of this is a waiting game. It's a patience game, and it's a painful one at that, and it's very trying to the will. So if you can really find that balance and strike that tone, it's going to make it a lot easier for you than those times where we have a tendency to let ourselves get ahead. So with that Fool card leading into that, I do think faith is going to be really important. Having faith that this can't, because the Fool is nothing if not taking a leap of faith and trusting that this new experience, this new journey, whatever it is, has a purpose, and it's going to take me somewhere on an amazing adventure, somewhere I never thought I'd go. So try to have the spirit of adventure, the wonder of a child in this. I know it's hard to do when you're dealing with difficult things, but the more you can embrace that energy, the better off your experience will be, because it's never really about the destination. It's always the journey and the things you learn along the way. Last but not least, you did get the Two of Wands card. So I see a lot of not just balance and directional changes, but tough choices for you ahead. And I don't say that's not a negative at all. I think it's actually a positive card and a positive energy, especially with these two majors coming out beforehand. So yeah, you're going to have some choices. You're going to have to choose certain things and choose to eliminate other things. And it's not always going to be fun. It's not always going to be romantic, and it's not always going to be things that you want to do. But ultimately, this journey is taking you somewhere exciting, unexpected, and I think when you see majors like this that good things are coming. So trust when you have to make a choice over the next couple of months. Trust that higher self choice. Trust that heart space, your intuition, listening to that over your monkey mind and your doubts and your fears and your anger. Trust making those higher self choices, that they're going to lead you, because you're at the precipice of a really exciting journey that does have divine destiny at play, and your highest good and those of others connected to you in mind with all of this.
Mm-hmm. She said she fractured her shoulder in May, and it needs to heal for another 7 months. And then she said it's forcing her to ask for help, and that's so difficult for me. And I think that's so interesting too, because of all this, everything you've been going through in general, just in the last few years, even. I think that when the body has any kind of injury like that, it is always slow down. Like there's something that you need to see, and it shows you by like disabling you in some way, and yes, having to like go outside of your comfort zone like never before. So that's a huge thing of what's happening right now. And yeah, a 7-month healing journey is like a lot too. My mom just broke her ankle, and hers was like, I think three weeks in a cast, and then it was healing so good. But because she took the time to let it heal and didn't try to force walking or things like that. And so she kind of got the message and like did what she needed to take care of. It's funny because my reading literally jumps off of yours and goes to the Three of Wands.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, boom, it continues the journey. What I see in this image is definitely looking out and up to the sky. And that normally represents like the divine or like something bigger that's outside of us. And also this is the card of progression, foresight, commitment. And I think what you're needing to, the same thing that you just said about having faith, I feel that in this card. I feel like you can see the journey ahead, and you know it's not going to be exactly easy, that it might take a lot. It might take a lot of like work on your part to get to the result that you want. But she's sitting too. She's not standing and like running or whatever. She's like sitting and just looking up. And so I feel a lot of faith. It does take a lot of faith to move from to be where you're at right now, but just relax into like the beauty of where you're at. And it's like that similar message to Chad, where the gratitude for whatever has shown up in your life for a reason is like the best thing is like, what's the lesson here? What is the universe trying to show me? Why is this actually happening to me? You know, instead of getting into that like, martyr kind of energy, like why me and all that stuff. That's
utility.
Yeah. You gotta not like totally don't be in that space, and just be like grateful for what is right in front of you. But it's gonna take, I feel like you need to commit to healing. And sometimes that's like slowing down and not letting things slow down. The next card you get is the Ace of Wands, which is about passion. And I love how this card is represented by a rose. So it's a very feminine energy. It's a very kind of graceful energy. It's like the sisterhood of the rose, or that Mother Mary energy. And and I feel miracles. I just heard the word miracles, you know, and I feel like this shows this aspect of you that is like, that has that longing to actually, you know, change or create something new. And maybe this whole situation is happening because there's something that you are birthing, but this is part of the process of the birthing that's happening. But I love just the imagery of this card. It's like, here's a rose, you know, like here's the nurturing energy of the divine feminine coming. So just like let it fill you up. And then that's part of what's going to help you heal. And then the last card, it feels like a little bit of a warning. It's the Four of Pearls. And you tell me what you think of it too, Jason. But it kind of feels like it could go a couple of ways. One of them is, this could be the lesson, right? Like, what are you holding on to so strongly that the universe is asking you to let go of? It could be a mental pattern. It could be anything, right? It could be a physical thing. It could be some kind of an addiction. It could be like, this is about the fear of maybe not having enough on the other side. And so having to hold on to everything, and you can't let go. But obviously you have to let go. The only way to heal is to surrender, right? Like you said, I'm having to ask for help, and that's really hard for me.
Yeah.
And the other way that it could go is that it's actually showing you that maybe you're not holding on to enough. And so, you know, maybe you're giving too much. And it's so funny because actually you did get the giveaway card from the Shaman Oracle. And the giveaway card is, it's a good kind of giveaway. It's not the kind where you like give to the point where you like hurt yourself, right? Which sounds kind of like it might be your experience, but it's about giving so that you can receive back. And so it is the lesson to let go, right? With the Four of Pentacles, so that you actually let go, stop holding on to stuff, and give it away. Let it go. Like, what can you give instead of take, right? Yeah. And so when you release, you're going to have that spiritual growth, which is the card that you got, card of platinum with the elephant on it, about spiritual growth. And so the elephant is Ganesh, and Ganesh is the giver of obstacles, but the one that takes away the obstacles. The same theme going on here: holding, keeping, or releasing. It's like something get in the way because they need to, for us to like figure out how to change route. And then he removes the obstacles when we're ready to clear the path. So I feel like right now, this definitely feels like an obstacle in your path that has shown up because there's something you need to pay attention to. And that's the deeper meaning behind the whole thing. But the whole thing is a positive thing because there's spiritual growth connected to it, because this card came out. And I feel like if you stick to your healing process, that everything will come out just fine, and that you will heal, and that your health will be restored. So that's what I got.
Absolutely. The only thing I would say is when I was looking at that Four of Pearls, what kind of stands out to me too is like, it is a thing for Valerie where, you've got to let go, like you said, you have trouble asking for help. Well, that's something you've got to let go of. That trouble, you're going to come back to a point where you're being forced to learn to do things differently. And you also need to let go of comparing your past experiences with health challenges to this one. Like Jai was saying, that really stood out, what Jai was saying about you're being forced to slow down and to really stay in gratitude. Yeah, celebrate the small victories, learn to celebrate the small victories, and take each thing instead of comparing it to past experiences, compare it to this experience and know that you are going through this for a reason. Like she said, it's all part of this new challenge, but it is really important for you to sort of, that was so eloquent what you said, Jai, about, it's all happening for your growth. It is something to really find your gratitude for. And just remember, with like the Eight of Pentacles, slow down. Don't try to rush anything. Be grateful for the small victories and the challenges. Yeah,
I love that. But yeah, I definitely feel like there's a huge, this is a big deal, because these kind of injuries, they're not random. None of these things are random. They always happen because there's a message and there's something that we're learning. And if you look at it from the lens of the hermetic laws of the universe, we attract it. We attract these things are supposed to take us to the next phase. So when we think that way, it changes the perspective of what's happening. And instead of feeling like a victim, we actually surrender to the lesson and to what is, what can we possibly find on the other side of this journey. So yeah, powerful message. Thank you.
Beautifully said. That gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, that was a good reading.
That gives me goosebumps. Surrender to the lesson.
Okay. Thank you, Valerie.
Well said.
I forgot to mention that Lish signed up. She's the fourth person that signed up today for the tarot class. We actually had 4 people sign up today, so that was really awesome. So yeah, so excited, Lish. Spot on as you both.
While you're mentioning that, go ahead. I just want to say congratulations and Lish. And while you're mentioning that, if anybody's just popping in or has been in and out, the tarot course that we're doing is a 9-week course. It starts tomorrow. We talked about it in the beginning tonight, but just to reiterate, if you haven't registered yet and you've been thinking about it, you've got just under 24 hours to get registered. So make sure you do it. We would love to see you there, and there's room for a few more. So come and do it with us. It's going to be epic. It's going to be beautiful. And go back and watch the beginning of this live, because we did a little bit of a peek at what we're going to be doing in the course, and I think you might find that helpful in deciding.
Yes. Valerie said we were so spot on, as we always are. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. And Rachel, there's still room if you want to get on the list. Okay. So, Shannon, it's Shannon's turn now. So let's see what your question is. And then Jeanette also, so it was Jeanette, and then her granddaughter and Nellie signed up today too. And then Lish. So yeah, I love the excitement. We're ready to go. Like I've been feeling that, like ready to go.
We are ready to go.
Yeah.
We are so excited, you guys. You're going to have so much fun in this course. We're all going to have a great time.
Yes. Okay.
Let's learn about some tarot.
And way more than just tarot.
And way
more. Just the best part. Astrology, so much. Okay, so here's Shannon's question.
Yeah, the mystery teachings.
Yeah, I have my priestess convocation coming up. What does spirit/guides want me to know about this path as I step through this gate? Ooh, I like this message. All right, let's see.
Beautiful question. Congratulations on that too.
Yeah.
I don't know what a priestess convocation is, but it sounds like it sounds like an amazing sort of rite of passage and in your spiritual journey, and it sounds really exciting.
She did a whole priestess path program.
Go you.
And she's graduating from it soon. Yeah. So super, super cool.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Okay. So here we go. I'm going to start. So interestingly enough, I love that you got the Hermit. And I think you mentioned something about the Hermit earlier, Shannon. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, I love that this card came out for you. This Hermit card is like so magical. I mean, this person, you can see her. She's standing in the water. It looks like kind of like a Hawaii type of or type of image where she's in like pure nature, just basking in the beauty and reaching up also to the sky. But so what this tells me is that the message is, obviously we were talking about the Hermit at the beginning of this broadcast, is you are now ready to shine the light for others. You can't forget to shine the light, and you can't forget your own journey of like seeing the light, you know, your teachers that have helped, you know, shine a light for you. But I feel like this is like becoming the light bearer for others on the path, like the light worker, like the sort of officiating of that energy for you. And I absolutely love that. You also get the Six of Swords. So this new journey is going to take you from the choppy waters to the calm waters. And that feels very much like Hermit energy too. So there may be, right after this experience, a time of reflection and like contemplation and like integration, because that Hermit is too about going within and integrating and like moving through the darkness. So there could be, you know, some things in your life that still have that energy of like, you know, there's fear or maybe a little bit of you're dealing with some shadows. But this whole journey is here to help you to transmute your shadows and move towards the more calm waters in your life, like a more calm period in your life. And I love that. And then the last card we get is the King of Swords, which is about strength, intellectual power, and stepping into your own authority. I mean, like, how beautiful is that? Like, all these cards are just amazing to me. So it's about stepping into your power and authority, shining the light for others, not forgetting about that light through the darkness, you know, shining a light in the darkness, and moving away from difficult energy, difficult things to more calm waters and a more calm moment in your life. That's what I got.
Wow.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's so beautiful. So I think you have some strong Leo energy in your chart, Shannon. I don't know for sure, but for some reason I feel like I knew that because one of the cards that you got is the Sun card. But just to backtrack from that, because that's your outcome here. In your foundation, I have the Nine of Cups, which is a card of just abundance, right? And also, I feel like this is about you being very mindful of what this energy looks like as you lead, right? Because I think you're taking on a role of leadership when you do something like this, just in your life and in the people you connect with. You do have the Hanged Man, Major Arcana, sort of influencing all the other cards. So I think it's going to be really important for you as you do go through this rite of passage that you take time in answering people and being very, very careful about being responsive and not reactive, because the Hanged Man has got that you know, enlightenment coming right to the mind, to the third eye, and they're kind of in that place of stillness because they're experiencing their enlightenment. So in this process, it's going to be very important for you to kind of be still, right? Be still and know. And there's a lot of energy to that. So then the other cards that came out is the Ace of Cups, a gift of, you know, a feeling of emotional fulfillment, a feeling of, I feel like it's also a very strong spiritual, emotional merging, right? Where I think you're going to be really coming to a place, you already have, I think, but you're really going to be growing in this space of knowing when something is right, because it doesn't just feel right in the heart space or in your or emotionally, but it's in your soul, spiritually. You're going to have that feeling. And then you also got the Six of Wands, a lot of public acknowledgement coming from this card, a lot of a feeling of returning home, a feeling of returning to yourself. You know, in this card, what I love about this card is it represents obviously like victory and a feeling of having won something, having conquered, having achieved something. But what I most feel when I look at this card in its placement here is this is a journey for you that's not just it's ongoing. You're going to be experiencing this in your dealings with people on a regular daily basis, that feeling of being seen, being heard, and that the wisdom that comes from how you sort of take that as a responsibility and not just as a gift, right? Because there's a new sense of responsibility that you're gonna hold, and you're gonna behave with, knowing that you have this ability to sort of show others the way through your experiences. And last but not least, the Sun card, a lot of Leo energy there. Again, that card coming out with the Six of Wands beside it, there's such an energy of acknowledgement of you being seen in a way that maybe you first had to see yourself for others to then see you that way. But it's such a strong, powerful, it feels very royal. And when I say royal, what I mean is there's a place or a position of being highly favored and sort of being, it's a position of royalty. It's a position of being uplifted by your own actions and by who your soul is. Your soul is embracing a part of itself that maybe you never have until now. And you're going to feel that. You're going to feel like you're suddenly in a position of great privilege. Okay. But with that comes great responsibility. That's what I feel. It's a balance between privilege and responsibility, and you're in a perfect position in your life and in your soul's journey to handle both of those things immaculately well.
Wow.
That's what I got.
The sun shines a light into the darkness, meaning it makes the subconscious or the unconscious conscious, and it brings to light like all of that stuff. And so, yes, it's about seeing the light and the dark and working through all of that energy while you're in this position of like leadership, like Jason was talking about. It's the alchemy of that. So you got the holy mountain. I mean, seriously, like, and this is also the same mountain that the hermit stands on and that he climbed up. And so this is representative of the path that you're on, right? And we will all continue to be on for, the rest of our lives, but it's conquering the mountain, right? That is the key to a lot of the spiritual ascension paths. And the mountain represents, again, transmuting shadows into gifts and moving through life by, surrendering, letting go, and everything that we talk about, the journey of the hero that finally reaches this point of ascension. You can't get to the top unless you do the work. And the holy mountain represents the work, like the great work of the student, the initiate, the magician, the fool, the great work. And the last card you get is the card of lavender, which is about freedom. And I love how lavender too, I think, didn't you get this card before? I think you did. It coming out again. So lavender is about like serenity. It's about peace. It's about calm. It's about like calmness. And again, that's a theme that has been coming out in both of our cards, but it's the freedom. I feel like it's
Can I just interrupt you real quick and say, I just want to add, lavender, I was mentioning royalty a lot, and I know the color of royalty is officially purple, but lavender is a shade of purple. It really is. And that's beautiful. It's kind of a pinkish purple, those two combined, which says a lot to me. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. And so there's the freedom, and it is a woman in this card, and so it's like, the freedom of the divine feminine. And this could represent like what, because she just said, my work is to help women see, know, and step into their power and sexual sovereignty. That's like her intention for the path. So I feel like you're teaching about how to step into that by doing the journey yourself, as well as, helping others to see it as well. So powerful reading. Another powerful reading.
That's beautiful.
Yes. And we have one more that got on the list, Rachel. So go ahead
Rachel.
and put up your question. And thank you guys all so much for being here tonight. And we're so excited for our Tarot Masterclass that starts tomorrow. So make sure to check that out. All the information is below. It's a 9-week course. We are going to be meeting Thursday nights, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And everything will be recorded. So you'll have replays of everything. But dude, this journey is going to be freaking amazing.
Amazing.
So
amazing.
Excited. Yeah. All right.
So excited. I'm so excited. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah. Okay.
9 weeks of fun.
I know. Okay. She wants a love reading, please, about Titus.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see what we get.
All right. Well, right off the bat, I'll start because in your foundation, you do have the 2 of Pentacles here. So there is a little bit of an energy in this love reading of I'm not sure exactly what it is because this feels like there's some major arcana here. So there's some interesting things going on. But this card can be representing either your split energy or a little bit of uncertainty about the connection, or it could represent the fact that the connection itself has split energy, and maybe one or both of you needs to make a choice, and both of you need to choose it because it feels like there's a little bit of unbalance or a need for balance based on that card, and that's foundational. So that means that's what there's an element of that in the connection and needing to find balance. Now, influencing all of the cards, you do have the Queen of Swords, which is also it's an energy of I think for you finding and establishing your autonomy within any relationship and having clear boundaries in place, because the Queen of Swords, she's got the sword in one hand and then she has the other hand open and welcoming. So it's really about striking that balance of what is right for you. Now, having said that, because that is influencing all the other cards, 3 cards that came out are major arcana. You do have the Hierophant, which is a really strong energy of this being a part of your path, a part of your soul's journey of growth. You're going to learn that there are major lessons involved here. It's going to be important for you to, in this relationship, like I said, again, I keep hearing the word boundaries with the Hierophant card too. If you want this to have a chance for now, boundaries, and honoring them, right? Honoring the ones that are put in place. You also have the Justice card coming out. So it feels like one leads to the next in a way, right? And that energy of once you find a way to strike that balance, you might start to see some really positive energies come back to you. Doesn't mean that it's going to not work or work as a relationship, the love, because I mean, we all know this. Most relationships don't end or succeed because of love not being there or being there. Most relationships, there's usually love there if you're with someone for any amount of time. They don't succeed usually, or they end because of things like micro rejections that build up over time. Micro rejections, and also, people not defending that coupledom and going to other people outside of the connection with their problems instead of sort of protecting it and keeping it close to their heart and addressing problems only within that connection. There are little things that just need to be done a certain way for this to work. And I think what you see with the Justice card, starting with boundaries and then moving forward from there, because the love is obviously there, but it's all the other stuff, right? That's problematic. And then you have the World card. And so I think with this World card, lots of potential for both of you to have major spiritual lessons as the result of this thing, and to take it on, with you on your journey, wherever it leads. This, I feel like Titus and you will either have a chance as a couple, or he will be someone that always is in your heart as someone that you had a really, really special, life-changing experience with, right? Don't know which it's going to be. I mean, it's really going to be up to you both. But I will say, when you have cards like this, it looks like the most important thing for you right now with the Queen of Swords and the Two of Pentacles is to strike a balance and find your autonomy and your power and your boundaries in the relationship, and then let the rest work itself out. What he needs to do is really inconsequential to you. What his side of this and what he needs to own really doesn't matter. This is what you get, what your job is in the relationship is boundaries, balance, and living up to your word. In other words, if you set a boundary and that person breaks it and stomps all over it, you have no choice then but to honor it by leaving, right? And so there's that there's needs to be strong boundaries in place, because it feels like there's a big imbalance right now in the connection. Love is there, balance is not.
Interesting.
What do you got, Jai?
It's crazy. She got the Queen of Swords too. I mean, I pulled it for her. So same, I mean, reiterating everything that Jason just said. In this card, you can feel she's really kind of in her power. But again, it's that energy of being very clear. There's so much clarity about what you say, how you say it, how you communicate it. And that will hold up, and it'll be your responsibility to like hold up your boundaries that you set in the relationship. The card that he got was the King of Pearls, and there's this polar bear energy. So I'm sensing that like both of these cards to me hold a lot of like power. One of them holds intense feminine power and the other one intense like masculine power. But both of these cards, it seems like they would butt heads. Because like when you have two power energies, it's like they both want to be in charge kind of a thing. So that could be adding to everything that you just mentioned about maybe this is where the imbalance is found, is that you're both very, very strong personalities, very, very strong energies, right? Swords is air, so you're more in your head, and the Pentacles is earth, so he is more grounded in that sense. But what I'm getting from this is that there's two power animals like working together, and sometimes you have sort of more fights or more conflict versus like one person like stepping into the role of like leader and the other one stepping into the role of like follower. Not that you can't have two leaders in a relationship, but sometimes there's a natural, like people fall into natural flow with each other. And when you have two energy that are super strong, they might butt heads. But what I did to make this even more interesting is I pulled 3 cards that have to do with the soul contract of the relationship. And so the Gene Keys card is the 57th Gene Key, which moves from the shadow of unease, which also points toward that Two of Pentacles energy. It makes you feel uneasy, to the gift of intuition, to the city of clarity. So every time you trust in your intuition or make a decision based on it, you raise the frequency of your whole aura. My gift to you, the message from this card, I come to remind you of that still voice within that connects you to all of life. Your intuition is one of your greatest gifts. Trust it. We live in a world that is obsessed with reason. There is so much emphasis on exploring and conquering the mind, but you have the ability to experience true knowing. You can perceive something even before it has been seen, heard, touched, or tasted. It is a time to embrace your primal instincts and to stop relying on theories and methods. I am not suggesting you discard your intellect or your tools, only that you allow them to serve your intuition. As you learn this art, you will find that old fears melt away, relationships soften, and things go more smoothly. Trust the delicate hairs on the back of your neck and listen carefully. So this is a message that part of the soul contract of this relationship is for both of you to learn to listen to your intuitions. And the 57th gate in human design is found in the spleen center, which is only awareness in the moment. So if you don't pay attention to the message that comes through, it will not repeat itself. That's why this is about going deeper. This relationship is about learning to trust yourself and to trust each other. You get the Heart of the Sky from the Mystical Shaman deck, which is actually really cool. The sky actually represents the masculine energy. It's like Father Sky is how they refer to the sky. So the Heart of the Sky is this powerful, strong, masculine energy that, and also it's, representative of the cosmos too, like the stars and the sky. So it's bigger than what you think. It's beyond what you think, why this relationship is here. And the last card you get is Sage, which is about being protected. Again, boundaries. You know what I mean? It's like that theme just keeps coming up. But with Sage clears the energy of anything that doesn't belong there. And that's another part of this journey in this relationship, is about to learn what doesn't belong here and how can we together clear it out, like remove it. And also how to, know how to protect and honor the relationship itself is by continuously doing the work together. So it's all about intuition, like trusting your intuition together, and knowing how to clear and let go of anything that doesn't serve you, so that you can always have at least a path or a vision forward together, if that's what you guys both desire. But that's what I got.
Beautiful, Jai. Good stuff.
Yes. She says, wow, that's aligned with my human design. I have sacral authority. I think clarity through instinct in the moment. It's clarity in your body. And it is very much in the moment. It's when you wait, you have to wait to respond. The spleen is more about instinct, and the sacral center is more about listening to your body's responses to certain things, which if it's your authority, then you really have to pay attention to that. But it is connected, but these are all types of intuitions that are really important. So there we go.
Really cool.
Thank you.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Good luck, Rachel.
Yeah. So we don't have anyone else on the list, so I think that maybe we should close it out for the night.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we're so thankful. Those of you that got on the list, and those of you that are signing up for the class. And I really hope that you sign up if you haven't done so yet. Our Tarot Master class starts tomorrow, and we're going to hit the ground freaking running.
Oh, yeah, we are.
So
it's going to be insane. I can't wait. Come join us, guys. Come and join us. You won't regret it.
Yes. So again, thank you all so much. And we will see you all again. We'll see you tomorrow in class.
Yep. Come and hang out. Come meet us.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.